Picture a rock city in one of the driest regions on Earth. Tall cliffs, a narrow canyon, flash floods that appear out of nowhere. Yet this city grew rich and stayed supplied. The secret was water engineering. This is Petra, and this is how the Nabateans made a desert capital live. First, the problem and the landscape. Petra sits in a basin cut by wadis that are dry most of the year. When rain comes, it can arrive all at once. Water rushes through the Sick, the famous entrance canyon, and slams into the city floor. Without control, that water is destructive. With control, it is life. The Nabateans did not try to fight the cliffs. They used them. Now the capture system. The engineers mapped every slope and natural channel around the basin. On the approach routes, they cut gutters and collection lips directly into the rock. Along the Sick walls, you can still see narrow ledges that catch runoff before it becomes a torrent. Those ledges feed ceramic pipes that run inside the wall, protected from sunlight and impact. At the mouths of side wadis, they built diversion walls and intake weirs. When a flash flood arrived, the first rush of muddy water was slowed and split. Heavy sediment fell out into settling basins. Cleaner water continued into storage. Storage and pressure came next. Water was moved into a network of cisterns carved into bedrock and plastered tight to stop leaks. Large public reservoirs sat near key junctions. Smaller private cisterns served houses and workshops. Because many cisterns were at different heights, the system could build a modest head of pressure. That pressure let water flow gently to fountains, gardens, and baths, without constant lifting by hand. Where the landscape demanded it, the Nabateans laid buried ceramic pipes with tight joints. They used stone stopcocks and simple control devices to open and close branches. They even added overflow routes so that when a tank was full, excess water did not destroy the plaster, but moved safely to the next basin. Think about daily life on water. Petra was a trading hub. Caravans brought incense, spices, and goods from Arabia and beyond. A reliable water system turned a stop into a city. Animals could drink in troughs fed from controlled spigots. Workshops used water for dyeing, tanning, and grinding. Houses had access to jars filled from neighborhood points. Public spaces could show water as status, with small fountains and basins that signaled wealth and stability. Gardens appeared on terraces. Even modest greenery changes temperature and dust in a desert town. Water created comfort, and comfort drew more people. Risk, failure, and repairs were part of the plan. Flash floods still happened. Sediment would clog channels. Earthquakes could break pipes or crack plaster. The Nabateans built for maintenance. Intake basins had places to shovel out mud. Pipe runs were accessible along the Sikhi so crews could pull and replace sections. Plaster recipes were tuned to the local rock. When a wall failed, it could be patched. Engineers understood that a system in the desert is never finished. It is a living set of parts that need care every season. What survives today and what it proves is straightforward. You can walk the Sick and put your hand on the carved gutters that once captured runoff. You can trace the ceramic pipe channels that run inside the rock, placed high to stay safe from flood debris. You can step down into cisterns with smooth plastered walls and see overflow cuts leading out. Archaeologists have mapped dams in the side wadis that slowed the flood pulse and spread the load. At the city center, there are basins and distribution points that match a managed network, not a random set of wells. Modern studies tested how the pieces work together. Hydrologists modeled rainfall events and showed that the capture area, the settling sequence, the storage volumes, and the pressure paths could carry Petra through dry months. Engineers rebuilt sections and moved water through them to measure losses. The numbers make sense. There is no mystery material and no hidden pump. It is planning, gravity, and good repair. Why did this matter in history? Petra controlled routes that carried high-value goods. A city that can promise water can promise safety and rest. That turns traffic into tax revenue and trade deals. Water also anchors rituals and politics. Public fountains and baths signal a stable regime. When travelers walk into a cool carved canyon and hear water moving behind stone, they know they are in a place that will last. That reputation is worth as much as walls. There were limits. Prolonged drought could stress the network. Earthquakes in the region damaged channels and cisterns. Trade routes shifted to the sea as ship technology improved. When fewer caravans arrived, the cost of maintaining the system grew heavy. Petra declined, but the engineering did not vanish. The rock still carries the lines of the system. You can read the city through its water. Here's the part to remember. Petra's water was not a miracle. It was careful measurement, carved stone, layered storage, and patient maintenance. The Nabateans turned violent floods into controlled flows. They turned rare rain into a steady supply. They did it with gravity, common tools, and a plan that matched the land. In a dry world, that is the difference between a camp and a capital. If you want more proven examples of ancient engineering that you can see in the ground today, subscribe and watch the next video in this series.